Hello everypony, Scar89 here once again with another fanfic reading. Today I'm going to be reading the next chapter, chapter 4 of the Reaper's Game. I want to do this one really quickly because I have a story to write, so let's do this fast and so I can get back to that. So, chapter 4 of the Reaper's Game by Slain Me, I guess. Anyway, The Reaper's Game, Chapter 4, Strategy, Day 2, 1. Rainbow, are you okay? Thud. Rainbow Dash, how dare you hurt my friend? Crunch. Fluttershy, oh Celestia, we can't fight this thing. That thing has just killed Crash. I'm going down fighting like the others. Thump. Spike, send a letter to the princess! Darkness. Then everything became light again, and Twilight Sparkle sat bolt upright, gasping for breath. Slowly she remembered where she was. Manhattan. Looking around, she found she was still in the square. Not too far away from her, Pinkie was laying on the pavement asleep. Right, so this wasn't just a dream. That was her last hope gone. She stood up and looked at the crowd around her. Busy ponies on their way to their busy lives, living their lives while others fought for their own. Twilight turned her thoughts away from this topic, and they settled on another one. Rarity and Fluttershy didn't recognize her, but they recognized Pinkie, even looking as different as she did. So why not her? Why had her friends forgotten about her? The answer came a moment later. Pinkie had said that to play this game, you had to sacrifice what you held most dear as an entry fee. And what did Twilight hold most dear? Her friends. Oh, I totally knew it. I didn't want to tell you guys, but yes, I totally knew it. Ooh, I'm so smart. And so her friends became her entry fee, or at least their memories of her. Tears threatened to well up in her eyes, but she fought them back. No, she couldn't let the others know. She had to win this game and get her entry fee back. She had to get her life back, her friends back, and her friends' lives back. Further thoughts on the topic were interrupted by Pinkie. No, not Pinkie. Pinkamena. The pink pony was waking up, letting out a stream of unintelligible noises, her eyes still closed. And what? Her eyes snapped open, taking in her surroundings. Horse apples! It must be day 2 then! Day 2? You mean we've been asleep for an entire day? Twilight asked, aghast. But how is that possible? We were wide awake just a minute ago. And then suddenly we wake up here? Pinkamena shrugged. I don't know how it happens. All I know is that it does. She looked around briefly. Oh, good. Rarity and Fluttershy are just over there. I should probably go and explain what's going on. You want to sit through the explanation again? I'll be fine, actually. No, oh, sorry. I'll be fine. Actually, wait. Something's been bothering me. You say we're dead. Then why can't I remember how I died? It could be for a few reasons. For example, your memory might be your entry fee. No, not my memories, Twilight muttered under her breath. Oh, she muttered that. Never mind. Okay. Oh, you could have died in a traumatic way. Traumatic deaths tend to take a while to come to grips with, but you'll eventually remember. Pinkamena started walking toward Rarity, who was just waking up. She spoke over her shoulder to Twilight. Still, what does it matter? Doesn't make you any less dead. After filling Rarity and Fluttershy in, a decision had to be reached. Since they hadn't found Rainbow Dash or Applejack yesterday, it was agreed that finding them was an important priority, but there was some debate as to how important. Well, if we don't all get back together, there's no point in going back at all, declared Pinkamena. So we need to find them first and focus on the mission later. Rarity was vocally opposed to this. How can you be so cruel, Pinkie? I agree it would be best if all 5 of us made it back. Twilight had to force back tears at this. But to say it's all... Because she said 5, not 6, and Twilight's part of the 6, but she... Sorry. Okay. But to say it's all or none? You've still got family to get back to. Sweetie Belle is probably heartbroken by now. And I know our parents don't have enough time to raise her on their own. And Fluttershy has her animals to look after. We can't get back unless we complete the missions. That's what the other players are for. It doesn't matter which pair completes a mission, so long as it gets cleared, which leaves us free to search for Applejack and Dash. Technically, that's not completely true. There are some missions where each individual player has to do it in a certain amount of time because each player can do it in a certain amount of time. That's my theory, at least. So, back. Anyway. But how do we know they can do it? I'd sooner not leave my friends in the hooves of strangers. Fine, we put it to a vote then. Which do we focus on? The mission or Dash? Oh, that was Rarity who said that a while back. But how do we know that we can do it? I'd sooner not leave my life in the hooves of strangers. Fine, we put it to a vote then. Which do we focus on? The mission or Dash and AJ? I'm voting for our friends. You? The mission, of course. Rarity turned to Fluttershy. Support me here, darling. We've got to do the mission first, right? Fluttershy looked thoughtful for a moment, then shook her head. She pointed at Pinkamena. Ha! That's 2 votes for searching for AJ and Dash. Oh, that's 2 votes for searching for AJ and Dash first. Sorry, Rarity. Looks like I get my way. Rarity fumed. Oh, but the voting's not over yet. Miss Sparkle still has to cast her vote. Pinkamena waved a dismissive hoof. She doesn't get a vote. She has no reason to choose to search for Applejack and Rainbow Dash, so she only has one option. Twilight didn't like being talked about like she wasn't there, especially by her friends. Actually, I think I do get a vote, and I vote we do both. Both? Rarity and Pinky echoed the last word. Yes, both, Twilight affirmed. You're forgetting something. We're 2 pairs, not one quartet. Pinky and I have to stay together, and Rarity and Fluttershy have to stay together. But our 2 groups don't have to stay together. So one of our groups should try and complete the mission, and the other should try to find our friend. I messed up. So one of our groups should try and complete the mission, and the other should try to find your friends. Pinkamena and Rarity looked at each other. I guess that would work, said Pinky. So we'll look for Applejack and Rainbow Dash. And Fluttershy and I can complete the mission, Rarity added. Twilight shook her head. Actually, I think it should be the other way around. Seeing the confused looks she got, she continued. Pinkamena told me she'd played this game before, so she'd be the best prepared to deal with whatever the Reapers throw at us. And Applejack and Rainbow Dash don't know me. Won't recall? I don't know what she was going to say that. I don't know. Don't know me, and Pinkamena doesn't look like she normally does, so they might be suspicious of us. So Rarity and Fluttershy should try to find them. Besides, being able to fly will be an advantage in looking for them. Silence. Then Pinkamena sighed. You make a good point. I hadn't thought of that. She looked back at Rarity. We'll take care of the mission then. But you have to promise you'll find them. I'll do one better than that, dear. I, Pinkie Pie, swear it. Rarity mimed out the actions as she said the words. Cross my heart, hope to fly. Stick a cupcake in my eye. A frown flickered across Pinkamena's face, quickly being replaced with a half-hearted smile. Thanks, Rarity. I know I can count on you. Oh, and I know this will sound strange, but try to fight as many noise as you can safely. The more you fight, the stronger you'll get, and there might be some point where you'll need to fight anyway. Rarity nodded. To be frank, I'm still a bit confused about the fighting. You say we draw upon magic from these pins? She indicated the sash she was wearing, identical to the others except for the pins on it. Rarity had, along with the skull pin, a pin with a column of diamonds that looked a bit like her cutie mark, and one with various gems forming a staggered V shape. Yep, if I had to guess, the first of those will form an ice pillar, and the others will drop rocks or something on your enemies. She then turned to Fluttershy. Fluttershy, Yours one looks like there'll be a barrier that'll protect you from harm while damaging the noise. And one that creates stationary orbs of water. I like those pins, actually, in the game. Those are good pins. Fluttershy's pins were one of a butterfly, like the one on her cutie mark, but black and gray, and a turtle with a light blue shell. Rarity nodded. Thank you for letting us know. You take care, dear. We'll find Applejack and Rainbow Dash before you know it. With a nod to Twilight, Rarity and Fluttershy were on their way. Just as they vanished from sight, two squirrels appeared in front of Twilight and Pinkamena. The day's mission had arrived. Mission 2. Find and erase the noise in charge of Mr. Ed's theater. You have 180 minutes. Failure will result in erasure. The Reapers. Twilight felt the sharp pain of her hoof again. The timer had returned, ticking down from 180 minutes. She turned to Pinkamena. So we just have to defeat some noise? This won't be a problem, right? I wouldn't say that. The wording of the mission is a clue. The noise in charge. Sounds like a boss noise. You mean like in a video game? Twilight hadn't played any video games, believing them to be a waste of time that could be better spent studying. Which is technically true, but I can't stop playing video games anyway. And neither can Luna. However, Spike had talked her into getting a Pwn-E hay station. A PlayStation? A Pwn-E hay station for him, and she'd watched him play it in his off hours a bit. So she was familiar with the idea of a boss, an extra powerful enemy that had to be defeated. Yes, exactly like in a video game. Pinky stared off into the middle distance for a heartbeat. It's like they are in a video game. Or at least an adaptation of a video game. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, it'll be tougher than the noise we fought yesterday, so we'll need to do some other battles before then. Well, alright, I guess I need the experience. Can you just remind me what my other pin does? Twilight indicated the Starburst design pin set next to the others on her sash. It'll shoot magic blast rapid fire. What? It'll shoot magic blasts rapid fire. Not very powerful, but fast. And while I'm on the subject, I guess you want to know about mine. She indicated her two pins, one decorated with her balloon cutie mark, and the other with a knife embedded in a cupcake. Oh my god! Cupcakes! You've already seen me use the cupcake one. That's how I do the flurry attacks. As for the other one, she smiled. Why don't we have a demonstration? Pinkamena tapped her skull pin, activating her mind reading. Twilight was confused. How would reading minds help demonstrate battle techniques? She was about to ask when one of the noise symbols appeared in front of her. Startled, she leapt backwards, Pinkamena's eyes opened. And now we fight! The square dissolved around them, taking the passerbys with it, placing them with two of the frog noise. They wasted no time. One of them already sprung at Twilight. She made a quick sidestep, letting the frog sail harmlessly past. She followed its progress and spotted Pinkamena on the other half of the battlefield. The pink pony was now holding Twilight's interest, smiled. This is what my other pen does! She turned, looking at one of the frogs. Suddenly, she wasn't standing where she was anymore. Instead, she was hovering just above the frog she had been looking at, and crashed down on the noise. The noise vanished in a burst of static. She turned back to Twilight. And that's what it does! Now, eyes front, soldier! Twilight whirled around and narrowly ducked under the other frog's leap. Time for her to try out this new pin. Time for her to try out this new pin. It says time for her to try out this new pin. Then I think it's supposed to be time for her to see or try out what this new pin did. Then, okay. She focused, trying to visualize magic bursts firing toward the frog. She was rewarded with a stream of purple sparks firing from her horn roughly toward the frog. About half of them missed their mark, but the rest made contact, causing the frog to vanish in a manner similar to its compatriot. I don't know. The world rematerialized around the pair of ponies. You're better at this than I thought you'd be! Twilight turned to find Pinkamena just behind her. Have you been in battles before? Only against one of Equestria's immortal goddesses, Twilight thought, and an Ursa Minor, some diamond dogs, a Hydra. Huh, I guess I have been in more than a few battles. Out loud, she said, I guess I'm just a natural at this. She looked at the timer on her hoof. 168 minutes, 34 seconds. Huh? It really doesn't feel like it's been 12 minutes since we've got this mission. Feels more like, I don't know, less than 12. Well, okay, this is weird, because they didn't say Discord, but I guess this was written before Season 2, I guess. Oh, well, that's because... Pinkamena trailed off. Finally, she shrugged. Okay, I don't know why that is. Maybe time goes faster when we're fighting noise. Look, I don't know everything. I think time would go slower if it was fighting noise, because remember, the noise and stuff happens... I don't know if you played the game. You know if you played the game or not. Anyway... Well, if we're going to get this mission done, maybe we should start making our way to the Mr. Ed's theater, wherever that is. Twilight looked around, trying to figure out what way to go. Please tell me you know where it is. I'm hopeless at finding my way around without a map. Pinkamena nodded. They had me running basically all over the city last time I played. I can still remember where everything is. Mr. Ed's theater is that way. She started walking off, only to stop a few seconds later. No, wait, that way! She turned around and resumed walking. Twilight watched just to make sure she didn't change her mind again, then followed after her. And that was the end of chapter 4. That was actually really good. I can't wait to start reading the next chapter, but I have to read my story. I have to type my story. It'll be up on FibFiction later next month, hopefully. But anyway, I have a lot to write. I'm trying to get 30,000 words in right now. It's going to go over that. Big time. Anyway, so, thanks for watching my videos. Blah, 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 blah. I'll record another chapter. I'll record Hohenshai later, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. It just takes so long to do it. I really haven't done anything with My Pony Spotlight, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing something later. I promise. I know you people don't like that, but I like doing my Pony Spotlight, so I will do that later. Anyway, so I will code another chapter. You can watch that. But until then, I will see you guys later. Pony on!